my god.
Well, is it you two, homie?
Bro. Stop speaking for me, cunt. What the
I
fuck?
am you and you are me.
Oh my god. That hit so close to home, bitch.
As if I haven't already this week.
Oh my god. Was it 2-3 days ago? I had sleep for dinner, bro.
Hunger's a tomorrow problem. I'll deal with it then.
Oh my god.
I don't know what's going on.
We're
And
just
I don't-
commiserating
not
in
sure
our
I want to.
struggles.
Yeah, sure.
Me and Nico are on a fucking struggle bus.
Oh my god. Life sucks, bro.
Dude, it's so bad right now. It's so fucking bad. I'm glad I had a
Fuck.
cat. Oh my god, if I didn't have
Dude.
a cat, I'd need to have been locked up already, probably. So I
All
have to
day.
Baker Act my ass.
All day I'm excited to get back home. It's unreal, dude. Fuck. Oh boy. Oh.
Don't you have more than one cat?
I mean, Sammy's not my cat. I just have to take care of him. He's my roommate's cat.
Oh, wait, Sammy's not your cat?
Sammy's not my fucking cat.
We've been gaslit
No
this whole
way.
time.
This is
No,
news
I
to me.
said from the get-go, Sammy is my roommate's cat that I take care of.
I
And they've
completely
just-
Wait, really?
Because that's been like, I mean, of course, it's been 3 years now that I've been taking care of, and I don't clarify it every time I talk about Sammy. But
Wait,
yeah,
no, hold on.
yeah.
I need to know if Linz knows this fact. I'm going to inform her of this.
yeah, Sammy is
That
my
is-
roommate's family cat that they had for like 14 years, and then when her dad died, they were gonna put him into a shelter instead of like taking anyone else in the family taking it. So he got brought to St. Louis, and since she has a dog that is awful with other animals, he lives in the basement with me. And he is
That
a
is-
menace to my mental health.
I feel like I'm acquiring like lore right now. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
the
Sammy's
exposition
roommate's cat.
finally hit.
Okay, so Lindsay proves that she has better memory than all of us.
It's cat lore. It's important.
Cat lore, true.
The cat lore. The deep cat lore.
The cat Laura.
All right. With that exposition of cat lore,
Yeah.
I think that I can't think of a good segue. We're just gonna start playing, guys. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
Well, meow, it's time to transition.
that
You
that
have
was
cat
far
face
better
with me
than
right
anything
now.
I could have. Yeah. Last session, we had more of a roleplay session with everyone talking to Kayla and some more attempts to dissuade her from actually exerting the power that she has earned through her unfair but still agreed upon duel with Iluna. Unsuccessfully so. She then proceeded to ask her first favor of Iluna, which is to get her home, amongst other discussions that were had. In doing so, she has made sure that Iluna will have to work on this project for the foreseeable future, but it seems like you guys have agreed on helping her out even then. When you finish that, she is presumably going to leave and go back to her home in one of the hells, as she couldn't do so on her own before, according to her. We had left off with most of the party taking a long rest at your house, while Maizel took his long rest down in the catacombs of the graveyard, sort of like examining the summoning circle where Kayla came from to begin with. Now, to kick things off, it is now the morning of the 16th of Aeon Star. It is a Tuesday. As a reminder, the moon of this week is Menfina. And Thursday, which is the day of like the apex, the full moon, is presumably your deadline to deal with Marco Windrenen before whatever it is that he intends to do with the city can be achieved. So you have 2 more days, 2 more nights essentially before the promised day arrives.
Final Fantasy shit.
As a sort of.
Who has to get married?
Let's speed run everything. So, just as a sort of like a mechanic preview, we're going to handle the whole thing with the circle for Kayla, unless someone has a different concept for it in mind, which I'm open to. But my initial intention is to handle it as a sort of like skill challenge. So you guys will be rolling in whatever way that your efforts will be to help out with the circle. The successes and the amount of people involved will essentially correlate to a shorter time to accomplish this task. So basically, like, even if you get like a lot of successes, if there is only like 2 of you helping out, inevitably it's going to take a little bit longer. So I have little doubt that you will eventually be able to figure it out, but it's not a very simple task. And so we're going to be evaluating here how long it's going to take for you guys to get an acceptable result before you can then move on with the rest of the plans and objectives that you have in mind. So with that out of the way, I want to ask if before we get to the mechanical thing, anyone would have some sort of anything they would like to do as the morning arrives and everyone wakes up feeling rested. Kayla still being in the house with you.
As we're getting ready, I would use give everyone inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
As Lily is just walking around singing, "Ruler of my heart, ruler of my heart," because it's stuck in my head.
I was like, that was so specific. She never like actually sings.
No, it's just very much stuck in my head right now because I listen to it.
Stuck in my head, like stuck in my head. Okay.
W alien stage.
So you all get inspiration. Mm-hmm.
I'm still incapable of reading. So,
right,
Mizell offered to help me, right?
Yes. So, and I don't know if you want to consider this part of Mizell's contribution to the skill challenge or what, but Mizell spent the night very carefully studying and making a sketch of the summoning circle that he could bring back to the rest of the party. And it is incredibly elaborately down to every last detail sketched into this, into a large page that he brought along with him. And then they have also noted on the circle like spots where like, hey, I recognize this symbol stands for this layer of the hell, and this symbol stands for isolation, and this one is solitude. So it looks like it was specifically made to evoke someone from this section of hell with the aspirations of solitude or aptitude, whatever words, isolation and solitude and all that, and kind of marked out like the spots that Mizell recognized, and we'll bring that back to the rest of the party to share and kind of describing it visually to Noah, who can't actually like read it. Can Noah look at a diagram even if it's not writing?
I turn and glance. Immediate response. What happens? Do I die?
You can look at drawings, right? So like a diagram is like I'm not gonna evoke like the proper definition of a diagram, but a diagram is by like common sense definition a mixture of drawing and words. You can look at the drawing, but if you focus on the words, it's gonna hurt.
Mizell would create 2 copies then. One copy has none of the words on it so that Noah can study that. and Myzel can point out like here was a glyph for this, here was a glyph for that. Because
Yeah,
Myzel
that
does
works.
read Infernal.
I also read
And then-
Infernal.
Yeah, and then for Luna can study the ones that actually have like the writing on them.
Actually, I already have an idea of what kind of check I want to make.
Well, for me, it will be Arcana. Just throwing that out
Mhm.
there eventually.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
for Myzel's contribution, that doesn't. Well, we're not going to just go for like one row from each person. Like we're looking for like a number of successes essentially.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go through each one, and if we still don't have the necessary amount of successes, we're gonna just give everyone else a round. So Myzel can go again after the circle thing.
So, do you want him to roll like perception for being able to capture all of the details of this thing without leaving
No, I'm
out
already-
anything?
I'm already
Or-
considering the ability check I made last session as
Oh,
the,
okay.
sort of like the initial
Did
roll.
I forgot I made one.
Yeah.
I don't
So
remember what it was. Oh,
yeah,
hey,
if you
Tate.
guys wanna talk more, feel free. Kayla is sort of like around like the conversation. She's not joining. She's just sort of like sitting on a cabinet or something, like eating some peanuts and observing your work.
I think Luna wants to, as a history girly, wants to go back to maybe a library or really any sort of text she can think of that she's read that involves Infernal. She's studied pretty much all like esoteric languages. So she wants to kind of try to find words sort of related to what Kayla is. So like loneliness, were all the synonyms for lonely, isolation, like sort of all those like maybe old infernal words and or concepts that might be sort of specific to her.
Okay. Do you want to like just recall the information, or do you want to like physically hit the library for it?
Don't harm my library.
I'll ask
Physical
Luna, does
visit.
he think there'd be anything in that library that might be helpful?
I didn't hear a name, but you're not asking me, no?
It's your library. Is it? Do
Oh,
you think
actually,
This was
there's no? I
literally
think there's
asking you.
anything. Yeah, I'm literally asking you.
okay, I thought that was for the DM. I mean, honestly, no, I wouldn't say so. I think if we have some sort of corner that studies the arcane, it would be very superficial, and I think Noah would have reached the bottom of that section very quickly. I don't think there's actually like a hidden section or anything like that that has any more interesting stuff in it.
Yeah, I guess I'll.
Very like small towny.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone that know about like, hey, do you guys know what the hell's here?
Maybe the town crier. He seems
Hell's here. Oh, true. Town crier knows
Yeah.
everything.
very...
I guess she'll just try to recall some studies then.
Okay, you can roll a religion check.
Actually, could I make a check of my own, not for my help toward the circle thing, but just to try and recall if there's anything besides the notes that you shared with me. If anyone here might be a little odd in the head and may have studied things that are outside the norm.
Odd in the head.
Yeah, like, like a bit of a weirdo whom nobody has ever taken seriously because the things he's been talking about are like so far-fetched and weird, but now that we're actually experiencing it, Noah's like, hang on, like, didn't he say something and we all laughed like weeks ago?
They were all taken to the
Just
sanatorium because they were
yeah.
crazy.
Roll. Fuck kind of roll is this? Like an
History?
intelligence check, I suppose.
I thought it was a history.
Yes.
I thought maybe
Not
a
history, because history is like history. This is just like
Yeah.
knowing people around town.
I'm just trying to make history checks more important.
Like, hey, history checks are already pretty important.
I think they're pretty important.
How many have we made?
Me, I make them often.
A few, yeah.
Oh, I feel like it's
Wait,
Arcana over history a lot of the times.
Yeah,
That's
Arcana
also
is
true.
like the golden child of intelligence skills. Nature is the black sheep.
Wait, do I have
This is true.
advantage?
Why?
I don't know. I just always every time I roll intelligence checks, something in my brain is like, wait, give yourself
It's 'cause
advantage,
of-
and then I'm like, why?
It's because of the quick study thing. That when we
Oh.
started
God.
when we
yeah,
started
yeah.
playing, we were using like the beta version of the wizard that had like the quick study to always get advantage, and they replaced that with
Motherfucker.
expertise in a couple of intelligence skills instead.
God.
Hey,
Honorable
expertise
occasion.
is usually better than advantage, like at higher levels.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's more fun to roll 2 die.
The monkey
That's-
brain.
True.
Anyway, on a 9, unfortunately, you cannot recall anyone who would have such aspirations. This is a city where not many are of a scholarly pursuit, and most of those who are priests. They are not knowledgeable of magical affairs in specific, but more so just scripture, holy texts, and stuff like that. Now, perhaps there could be a chance of some of them having more obscure interests or more occult or access to more occult texts, like our friend Lynn Beckett lives back in Bristol, who studied blood magic. But on that check, you don't actually know if that's the case. That's just conjecture based on your hypothesizing brain.
I do think though that might make sense.
Yeah.
I don't think.
As for
And it shows.
Iluna's 23 in religion check, that is a pretty good result. You recall having studied infernal lore, the hells, demons, and devils, which was not fully the focus of what you were instructed to do, but it's still like it's a tangent that might be of relevance sometimes. So you did catch a couple of pieces here and there. And you do recall a few pieces of information that might aid you. Specifically, certain patterns that can be observed in pathways between the hells and the material plane that can help one sort of like localize the specific place they want to go. And Kayla, as part of this, you would probably recall very specifically phrasings that can lead one to a specific one of the 7 hells, which would, I believe, prompt you to need to know which hell in specific Kayla would like to return to, and she would inform you that she needs to go to the 6th hell. So with that, you have made a pretty sizable contribution to the overall composition of Kayla's sort of like de-summoning circle of sorts.
Alright.
Who is next?
Guess I'm trying to think of like I want to use perception in the sense of having seen the hells for what amounts to almost a fifth of her life. Feel like she should maybe
Do what
kind of
now?
have some inclination of like
That's
that doesn't look
unreal.
right. Maybe it should look more like this.
So that's what's going on, bitch. Damn.
Okay, you want to go use your perception for that then?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead.
Oof.
It's a 26. Right. Disturbingly.
Depressing.
Yes, disturbingly, this 13-year-old child begins to correct all of you on what hell actually looks like.
It's much scarier than you think.
Including, very vivid descriptions of certain bits of its denizens, which helps the arcane nerds to paint a more vivid picture of what they're going to do. As much as you're devising like this sort of like magical, like your theorem, like a formula of sorts, it still is very important to have an image in mind, especially when you're talking about like teleportation magic. Not everything is just theory, but also your perception of and your connection to the place that you're going to. So this input from Rala is particularly valuable here, as she can, even though none of you have been to hell, fortunately for you, and Kayla seems not super willing. Like she's helping, but she doesn't seem as willing to share possible secrets of her people. So Rala's aid in this regard is quite unique and valuable. Nicely done. It is, even though all of these things can be technically happening like at the same time, we're going to be sort of like having time pass as the checks are made. So now you're sort of like approaching noon, the noon hours, as Iluna and Rala have been making good progress on their contributions. Who would like to go next?
Y'all, how do we feel about hot guys for magic? I'm just trying to do a good job of keeping everybody's morales up and making sure everyone stays in a good mood while working on this frustrating project.
Yes.
I've got a good old I ain't got no brain, but I've got good spirit and positivity.
I will say that probably does help Luna a lot because, pointedly, I did not give an inspiring speech or anything this morning or anything along those lines.
You can make either a performance, a persuasion, or a check with a musical instrument, if you wish.
Yeesh. You want to use your thing already?
My inspiration?
Do you use your inspiration or not?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Marginally better. You feeling quite motivated after having played a few tunes from a song that just wouldn't leave your head right after you woke up. You continue working like with melody and with general, like, your hospitality and bringing everyone refreshments or encouragement as needed. And it does seem to have like a positive effect on the team. People work a little more efficiently as they are not you're not feeling the fatigue of working long hours on this kind of like harrowing project in the middle of a looming disaster as much. You manage to take their mind off of like pointless things and bring them a little
just gotta solve
closer.
this problem first. We don't gotta worry about every problem right now, just one at a time.
Exactly. But that's a nice contribution. Who is next? I say, as there is only one person that hasn't gone yet.
Is my go the one?
Yes.
Or was I kind of taken care of earlier through... Not really. Okay.
Well, you said you didn't want that to be like a part of the skill check, so I didn't count it as such.
Okay, fair. Awesome. Thank you. In that case, I will be studying what has been drawn up for me. So I think Noah, while obviously wanting to help and being somewhat reluctant to helping, is now also very reluctantly having to consume a picture book more so than an actual book. And I think he finds that pretty humiliating. So there's a lot of odd emotions going through his mind right now. In rapid succession that he had not experienced like that before. So this is a loud moment for him. But he will do his best nonetheless, because he knows how much is at stake, to try and decipher the means through which the circle works, how to activate it, wants to know about the commands to it, would assume that there might be multiple commands to something so powerful. Also just out of sheer curiosity, while studying it, he's not going to intensely focus on it, but perhaps these notes contain a hint as to this demon's actual name. And that's it. Maybe it's like scribbled in a corner. Who knows? Should I roll Arcana? Just waiting.
I didn't get that last part. Are you trying to read something from the?
Oh yeah, that very last part. I'm trying to, among the image that I'm looking at, I'm trying to see if there may be hints to this demon's name. That's it. If it's words, obviously I can't look at it, but maybe it's like, maybe her name is Apple Bottom, and so there's like an apple, but it's like upside down.
Are you trying to look for like symbolism that could evoke like hints to her name that are not grammatical in nature?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. While
if
you
there's
analyze
an apple
the...
upside down, her Apple Bottom. I do not care.
Right. But on the whole, like what you're trying to do is study all of the glyphs and symbols and stuff and trying to organize them into like a more cohesive whole. Is that it?
Yes. See how it activates, and just make sure that we can run it ASAP.
Okay. Just roll an Arcana check then. A 21.
That's really good, guys. Like, that's an above average kind of roll, don't you think?
Feels like you should have advantage on that.
Do I?
No.
No. Fuck
Feels like you could.
Fuck off.
Yeah, technically you could.
I'm leaving this game. How?
Oh.
Literally have a reroll for the day from Lilia.
Yeah, like you could use your inspiration if you wanted
I
to.
guess so. I guess I'm not really using anything else.
I was just fucking with you on,
They
on
did
that.
just start.
Yeah.
The day did just start. I wouldn't use your rerolls. Every time you reroll, you get a 2.
True.
I don't like that you've been keeping track of that. What the fuck?
You're already over 20. Don't be greedy.
It's a large amount. I mean, he doesn't have to use the reroll, does he? I forget.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to use it. It's just there. It's
It
inspiration.
lasts
It's just there.
until night?
Yeah.
Lasts all day.
Once per day.
This
I
dude's
can do better
holding on
than
to
a 2,
advantages
right?
as if he doesn't have time mechanics.
Right.
Yeah, like statistically, it's more likely you're gonna get a higher number than a lower number than you did. Statistically.
Yeah. Statistically, so therefore
He's gonna
I
roll
will
a
go
2.
for it.
So
No, I'm gonna click the up button. All right.
okay.
If you roll a
that
2,
means
I'm giving. If you roll a 2, I'm gonna treat it as an 18, just for the, just for my own amusement.
No, just the exact
Okay,
same
you
thing.
just rolled the exact same number.
I feel
Which
like
is-
it's the same as a 2.
Yeah, it's a bit more humiliating than rolling a 2, honestly.
Oh my
god.
I feel like I'm right.
What did I
That's
say?
so
Don't get
bad.
greedy.
It's the
Okay.
best part.
You're greedy.
That's so bad.
I explicitly said that if you rolled a 2, I would treat it as a higher number, and then the dice specifically gave you a 1 instead of a 2.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
the one was just for fun. The one was for fun.
Yeah, I know it.
That's
I know
so
it was.
funny.
I know it was.
Oh,
But
God,
yeah,
that's
that's
so
a
funny.
21.
Disputed
You
rerolls. I don't know what it is.
adding on to Myzel's diagramming and you begin to try to make sense of what was started there and beginning to, that was like a summoning circle, so you're trying to do the opposite of that. So you begin sketching what that might look like and adding in also the extra sort of like directional sigils that Iluna has been providing, and the imagery Rala is telling you as well, and you begin to organize what you think is a very, very promising sketch of a circle meant, it's not a circle meant to specifically just bring anyone to that place. That would take a lot more time, but you can it can be simpler and it can require less power and effort the more specific the circle is. So if you're trying to send a specific person to that place, then the formula gets a little bit easier. You have a pretty nice outline. It's already the sun is setting. But it's like evening. But you have a pretty nice outline. It's not too far for completion now, which is actually quite excellent. Like, to be the more you kind of like start working on it, you can see that normally if you weren't putting in like much effort in it, if you're just like doing it whatever, this is a project that would probably take like 3 full days from a group of your size. But given the amount of skill involved that's being offered by everyone in the group, you guys are making very, very fast progress on how to elaborate all of this. Now, the circle will need like a sort of like a little bit of a finishing touch here, like just a polish. But you will need to do 2 things still, 2 very specific things to this. The first, you need to actually write, like you need to draw the circle, like construct it properly. We'll also need like a little bit of space. And you need to power the circle. To do something like this, as Kayla has informed you, she is a demon of sizable power. And there are forces in the world that do not permit beings of a certain level of strength. Like the higher their strength, the more energy is necessary to bring them through the planes. So for a being of Kayla's sort of like density, a lot of power is going to be necessary. You can either try to provide the power amongst yourselves, or you can try to produce, to use like secondary power sources to fuel this.
Can we use the
circle.
big evil book?
The big evil book?
The
Bib.
big evil book.
The book that is big and evil?
Yeah.
The book of desecrated dream. I don't know what's the exact dark deeds.
No. It's the book of vile darkness.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, no.
A little off there.
The counterpart is called the book of exalted deeds. You're not far off.
No, it's just funny to me. Of like, it's such a nerd thing that we just
Yeah.
had. I was just like the book of vile deeds. No, the book of dark deeds.
Yeah.
Book of
The
Thorns
book of
and-
evil deeds. No, it's vile darkness. You absolute casual. Yeah, it's a very nerd. Like I wouldn't be able to say this item's name like with a straight face. Like the book of vile darkness. Anyway, yeah. You could potentially try to use the book as a power source, though it would take some extra finagling to actually do that, because when we talk about like magical power sources, the most direct one would be like ether crystals, because they are literally just condensed ether. A thing like a magical item, even if it's a very powerful one, if it doesn't have like if it's not built with the explicit function of serving as a power source, you're going to need to do some work to make it work as a power source. But it could potentially work, because the book is a very powerful magical item, and presumably it contains like great amounts of ether.
I will say she doesn't want anyone touching the book because it will get bad, most likely.
Well, it's your call. That's the two things you guys kind of need to do with the circle still. You need to inscribe it somewhere, and you need to power it.
Oh no, y'all
And
think
then
place...
activate it, obviously.
How big's the circle? Can we do it in the spare bedroom?
No. It needs to be quite big, quite sizable.
Let's figure out how we're going to power. I don't think it matters where we put it. I think
Could do it
that's
in Marco's
the
house.
least of our issues.
I know they got plenty fire crystals over at the forge, but I don't know how we'd go about procuring any from them.
We would ask.
Sure. I'm sure if we asked Commander Lucina, she would be able to procure some for us.
How many crystals do we have just on ourselves? We actually have some crystals. Not a
We
lot.
have some from the house as well, I think.
Fire crystals for use at the house.
Let me think about this. Let me look through a thingy. I don't remember how many aether crystals we have. I know we have at least 3. There's one lesser one, then there's another one.
Yeah, you had found some like in the Wolfwood. I don't recall exactly how many.
How much did they need those? What did a lot of things.
So, what are you guys doing about it?
Mom.
You're so stupid.
Do we want to ask if we can get some aether crystals?
You want to find Lucina and make that request?
Yeah.
One of us should do that while the other starts sketching out the circle.
I mean, I'm not much use for the circle, so I can go on the request for Lucina.
Yeah, that should work.
And let her know that if we're able, once we've sent Kayla home, we'd like to start investigating this afternoon.
It's already evening.
What exactly should I tell Lucina? Just that we're
We need some stones to send Kayla home. It's the truth.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so Lilia is leaving to ask Lucina about the crystals, and the rest of you are... Where do you intend on placing the circle? The circle is going to need probably between 15 and 20 feet radius.
So probably
Holy
just the center of the house.
I don't think the house is big enough for that.
Probably not.
We can
Yeah,
go back
do
to
we
the graveyard.
Yeah, do we want to don't think we want to like do it in the yard because I don't think.
We're not gonna do this in the yard.
Yeah.
We should probably just take it back to the graveyard. It's less conspicuous.
All right, to the graveyard we go. We'll catch Lilia right before she leaves and tell her we're going to the graveyard because
Yeah.
it won't fit.
All right. You guys also need to procure a few alchemical reagents, just like to draw the circle in itself, because it can't just like draw it with ink. You know, you need. In this case, you also need to mix in some, some brimstone, some sulfur, stuff like that. But you can like sort of like procure that. I'm gonna hand wave the actual money costs. As for Lily, Lily just stepped away for a second. Well, the rest of you move
Water,
to the
35
graveyard.
liters. Carbon, 20 kilograms. Ammonia, 4
Yes.
liters. Lime, 1.5 kilograms. Phosphorus, 800 grams. Salt, 250 grams. Saltpeter,
Edward,
100 grams. Sulfur,
shut up.
80 grams. Fluorine, 17.5
Did you
grams.
pull that shit up?
Iron, 5 grams. Silicon, 3 grams. And trace amounts of 15 other elements.
Okay, yeah, you pulled that shit up. There's no way you've memorized all that.
These are the ingredients for human transmutation.
I did used to remember that back in my teen days.
Anyway. Okay, you guys get there and you can begin the process of actually drawing the circle. It needs to be very careful work. But I think given that most of you are proficient with Arcana, like there's no reasonable, like the chance of you guys fucking this up is like remote. So I'm not gonna bother rolling for it. You guys just very carefully inscribe the circle, such was the way that you theorized it to need to be, and you sort of like enrich the circle with a few spots where you can place the other crystals to fuel the process. It takes you a little bit of time to do it because you have to do it very, very carefully on a very appropriate spot on the ground. And obviously it takes you guys some time to get to the graveyard, like to cross the city and then get to the graveyard itself. But eventually you can get the circle ready, and it will just require like putting like an appropriate fuel source and then actually activating the sort of like the custom spell that you prepare together with the circle in order to properly send Kayla through it. Meanwhile, is Lilia back yet? Take that as a no. I'm just gonna wait for Laura to come back so we can see how it goes with getting the crystals from Lucina.
Eat an egg roll.
Can I have an egg roll?
Eggies.
Take
Can
an
I have
egg
an egg
roll
roll?
and eat it.
There's a sound bite that's like, can I have an egg roll? Am I the only one who knows that?
Doctor,
Fuck.
you're huge.
Huge egg roll.
So stupid. I'm looking for the egg roll.
I just looked again at the soundboards that we have on the server, and I saw like the shot one, and I remember how fucking loud that thing is.
It's a shame because I love that one.
It's so loud.
Am I lagging or is he lagging?
Hmm?
Which one of us was lagging? Is it me?
Probably you.
I didn't
Yeah, I
notice
didn't hear
any like on
anything.
my end.
Okay.
Like, why are we
Then
lagging?
I'm
Like,
lagging.
what's the?
I don't know. It cut out for a second. But that's not important. Right now I'm looking for Egua.
You stay with stray further from God. Laura's back.
Damn.
It's so good when it's just the fucking like just 1 second of it. It's so good.
That's unreal. That's
Uh
so good.
anyway, Lilia, you go to find Lukina, who has well, today she, for once managed to have like a normal working day of getting business done. So now would be about the end of her shift, so to speak. But it's not very hard to find Lukina in the at the guard barracks or anywhere else in the city. Everyone knows where she is going when she's on official business. Please roll a persuasion check as you ask her for the crystals in order to fuel the circle. Ooh.
Oh no.
Well, it would be really nice if you had saved that inspiration right now, but you didn't.
Wait, Lily used hers? I thought Noah used his.
No, Lily
No,
also
she used yours to
hers.
turn the 9 to 15.
Yes.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, as you discuss things with Lukina, you make a compelling argument, and Lukina agrees that they have. The furnace has a lot of crystals that it uses just for fueling the city in itself. But there is also like a cache of illegal, like confiscated ether crystals beneath the furnace that were being smuggled into the city, presumably somehow. Lukina thinks it's fair that you could use some of those as you were partially responsible for their discovery. However, she cannot part with a great too many of them, as they have already been repurposed into other things that needed attention, including some repairs to some of the city's infrastructure, or selling them to fund certain things that were going out of whack in the city's administration. So you procure like a very modest amount of ether crystals, which can help, but it will still require you to donate some magical energy yourselves as complement.
I have an idea for the rest of the energy.
Very well. As
It's a
you guys
bit
have,
Maverick.
yeah, as you guys were like just getting like finished with drawing the circle, fuck, Lilia.
Let's get one more
Would
L
have
name in here.
Yeah, it would have plenty of time to arrive with the, frankly, mildly disappointing number of crystals. So you guys can think about what to do about that extra bit of fuel that you need.
Luna kind of sighs, but nods, and then kind of places the crystals around the circle, kind of sparsely, but in a sort of a symmetrical way where they all line up towards the center. All right. Okay. All right. Myself,
Yes.
do you have any damaging? Actually, no. I don't need to ask you this. I can do it myself. Uh, Luna, like a sort of like sigil of like arcane sigil kind of appears below her, and she asks everyone to back up just a little bit as she starts using what's this cantrip called? Word of Radiance on herself. So starts speaking Celestial. And every single time that it hits her, she's going to absorb it with Moonstruck. I'm just going to fill up as much as I can.
Boom.
In fact, actually, do you have any damaging cantrips?
Yes.
Which ones are they?
Sorceress, something. Where is
Burst.
it? Yeah.
First? Yeah, she's gonna shoot a shooter in that case. She's gonna keep, and I don't know how much we'll need.
Hadouken!
Luna's willing to go the full. How long can I hold this? I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll hold 10 minutes worth of charge.
What is the maximum amount of charge you can get?
There's not a maximum. It's just it stores up to 10.
However much
minutes.
damage we roll, so we can cast 600 cantrips into it.
Oh, that'd probably
Yeah,
kill me. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because some damage is going to leak through, right? Like that's quite likely. So I just want to have us roll. Like, let's say you cast 10 times. Like, let's see how much damage that is.
Yeah, we can do that. You cast Sorceress 10 times, and then we'll see how bad Luna's looking, because she can only do this so much. It's gonna start hurting her.
Yeah. So you can roll. I think that's 3d8 for. No, we're not level 11.
So
Are we?
Yeah, we're level 11. That's 3d8.
Oh. Then yeah,
So
that's.
We could be level 12 if you want.
We're not. So Maisel is going to roll 30d8 and Luna rolls 10d8.
10d8 plus I believe
That's a
will
lot
be
of d8.
holy shit, that's gonna hurt. But that's fine. This is a part of the idea.
I can heal you.
Hold on, I gotta go check something real quick. Before I do math. Okay, yeah. So I rolled 10d8. So actually, that was pretty good rolls. So what's 101 divided by in half?
55.
50.
Well, you reduce before you divide, right?
That's a good point. Yeah. Is that how that works? I don't
Wait.
know if that actually works. If I'm resistant.
I think I don't actually know how that works, like with reducing by
I never really thought about it.
damage reduction stacking with resistance. Resistance. If you have resistance to damage type is halved against you round down. Resistance is applied only once.
Should we do it like we minus it from the max? Well, we had it kind of impossible to do it in this one, but like usually it's like minus the amount and then have it. Or do you want to have it and minus the
I
amount?
think you reduce it after you have it. I think that's usually how it goes. So if you roll 55 for the damage reduction and your resistance to the damage type, like to begin with, that would just nullify the whole damage.
All right. So that makes it 55 or 50 essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty significant amount of like that is 55.
55 plus 5.
Why am I so particular about some things? I'm trying to think of like what spell would have that amount of damage on average.
Ice wall?
That's about because that's about like 2 fireballs worth of damage on average at level 3.
I think this was 5d.
Firestorm deals 7d10 fire damage, which average to like 30, like 40 something. Now, Finger of Death. Let's look at Finger of Death. Finger of Death is, by the way, the spell that I was going to cast on the Devil's Tongue if that bitch hadn't died before.
So upset about shooting someone in the face. I've never seen it before.
But I could have just shot him in the face and then he would become a zombie for free. And it's a permanent zombie.
Do you really want to keep that around as a zombie?
Okay, yeah, that is 55 is very close to the average damage that Finger of Death deals, which is a level 7 spell.
Ooh.
So that I think that amount could, we could go through some logic hops to say that is a comparable amount of ether as is necessary to cast a level 7 spell. Perhaps level 6, just because, actual spells usually have extra effects, but still pretty good.
By the way, we are still missing Nyx. Can
I make a
shitting itself?
an Arcana check to know if more power be at a certain point detrimental?
Not, well, if you just push all of the energy in haphazardly, then yes. More powerfully isn't necessarily detrimental. It's just becomes harder for you to control.
I can help you funnel it into the spell.
I'd be careful. I feel like a living bomb right now.
She's about to burst.
Don't get me started.
Someone had to do it. I'm
I mean,
waiting for
Nico's
Nico.
not here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Nico to come back.
Yeah, and I'm
My bad,
honestly,
I was
I'm
muted.
just wagering whether or not we should try for more to sort of match like a 9th level, or like a. I know this is kind of meta in terms of like thought process, but in terms of like how much power Luna thinks it would take to cast like a plane shift is kind of like the amount of power she wants to sort of stock up.
Plane shifts to level 7.
That's all I'm saying.
Finger
You
of
know?
Death.
Yeah, with the other crystals, should be more or less good to go.
Oh yeah, Finger this 7 level. That was 6. Never mind. Okay, we should be good. Funnily enough,
Kayla just observes like the whole method, and she's like, that, No, a couple demons would be interested in that kind of thing.
I'll sure to give them my number. Interesting enough, we did this how we normally used this maneuver. Daka, do you know how far this blast would go?
I don't know for sure, but I think it would be something like 40 feet or something.
50.
Jesus Christ. I feel like I need to put an upper limit on this because I just realized
it's good for like stockpiling energy and like using it for stuff like this. But outside of this, like in combat, if I'm using this every single turn, I'm probably dead.
Yeah.
If combat lasts 10 turns and I use this every single turn, the likelihood of us not being dead would be enormous.
Also, combat almost never lasts more than like 4 turns.
Yeah. But also, like, obviously you guys haven't done that because it's cheap and it defeats the purpose of how to design the feature, but technically you could just do the exact same thing you just did and then walk into combat like ready to unleash like a fucking nuclear blast.
Do you
Have
know
you
how
heard
many
of-
It's been discussed.
I've been such a good boy.
You have.
We
I think
almost
of it all
did that
the
to
time.
Lineker.
Oh yeah, I almost thought about it with Lineker. I was just like, fight Lineker like we're for real. Mostly because she had that weird shield going on. So I was like, okay, well, take all the damage the world can handle.
Yeah. But it does sound like I should put an upper limit to how much energy can be stored regardless. Something like...
It probably makes sense that it can, oh no, how about just I can't store more than my HP? I think that makes sense. Because the
I think that
likelihood
makes
of me
sense, but it's
storing
still
up
a
that
lot.
much.
I was thinking about something like 3 times your level, 4 times your level.
Yeah,
30.
that's a huge nerf.
It's not a huge nerf. Like Soul, I don't think in combat Soul has ever like blown that thing up with
Against
more than
Selena,
3 times.
we hit like 50 damage.
Well, that was before we changed it. Now
Oh,
it would be very hard to do that now.
Yeah.
That was after 6 rounds of combat, and that was back when it was doubled. Now it's like we do the dice plus 5 for my mod.
Yeah.
Well, half my HP.
Half your HP is also like how much would that be right now? Like 50?
Yeah, about 50.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because I feel like you shouldn't be able to hold anything that's like half encompassing your vitality.
Yeah.
Generally, would probably kill you. I'm all-mighting, or all for winning. Oh, well, that means if I get stronger forms, I can sort of do more.
I like to think Luna gets like visibly bloated the more energy she stores.
I like to think that the tattoo comes so. Oh shit, that's actually really cool. It's a full body tattoo now. I don't even know how I would describe it. I just thought of it right now.
Is it? I'm trying to think in Atlantis if whenever my girlie's floating, if all of her tattoo glows.
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That's
Yeah, when she goes all like Super Saiyan mode and really hot.
It's not really K.
Kali?
Hida.
Hida.
Yes.
Let's go. I wonder who was the inspiration for Luna and who designed.
Yeah, one.
Wait, with a tan girl with white hair. What? Definitely not what happened. How long is this gonna take?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not her whole tattoos that glow. There's just like the white thing. Anyhow.
It's been a long time since I've seen the movies. I don't know what it looks like when she goes full.
In my mind, the tattoos spread, but I don't know if that's actually reality.
I'm kind of just trying to think of full body tattoo characters in general. They don't really exist.
What about whenever Dark Willow in Buffy? I love all my references are so dated and so telling.
What are we talking about? Full body tattoos on characters?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like, let me find.
Bro, like that's the whole point of like the cursed seal in Naruto, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like it's
I just
spreads.
never really. It's very how to say. I guess it's so corruptive in nature with the curse mark that I almost didn't think about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's often not like tattoos, but more like, you know, symbols and stuff. That like Meliodas has some stuff like that as well.
Tattoo characters.
Tattoos.
You know why it doesn't have? It's because characters in any sort of fiction with tattoos, you have to make the tattoos, and no one wants to do it.
Yes, that is the main reason. Like, there's whether or not many anime characters with tattoos, right? Like, it's just so fucking hard.
I guess Sukuna, but Sukuna's more of a part of his design.
Yeah, I don't feel like those are like full body tattoos. It just like has several, but
He like Renji ass tattoos.
Yeah.
I can't. Only maybe Full Metal Alchemist, but only the most it's like designated to the arms.
Yeah, Scar only has like on his arms.
I
Nobody
guess
has, like-
Demon Slayer is one as well. That's probably the closest.
Oh, true.
Yeah, whenever the like bark fully ignites.
I was very disappointed when the Demon Slayer came out and all the marks were red.
Yeah.
That was like the most disappointing thing to me of
Yeah.
all time.
It was like right there for them to give them different colors depending on the character.
Just color code them like the Power Rangers. You already did it with all their hair
Yeah.
colors. Or make them a neutral color. Making them all red just makes everything awkward.
And it clashes with some people's outfits.
Yeah. This dude got a work call. I just know it. Making us wait. I feel like 55 on 10d8 was a really good roll though. The average. Yeah, the average is 45. I rolled really well on that. How do you even make full body tattoos? I don't even know what that looks like.
I feel like there's someone with a full body tattoo that's like really obvious and I'm forgetting.
Yeah, it's also irking me as well. But
I mean, they're
he stopped so suddenly.
I was trying to think of like, because I feel like there is a character that's like on the tip of my brain.
Is there a Fate character with like full body tattoos?
I was thinking like, is this a D&D thing I'm thinking of now somehow?
Yeah.
Meliodas have full body tattoos?
But it has like some
Ooh.
marks, but I'm not sure if it counts. Wasn't there some guy from Fairy Tail that had like?
They all have tattoo. I don't know how many have tattoos.
Yeah. Because Gray had a tattoo, like, Erza, I think, had a tattoo, like, that was this, like, boyfriend guy.
Yeah.
Not me being angry at Fairy Tail's writer for just like constantly dangling the Nalu in front of us. I'm gonna make all my ships canon except for one, and I'm just gonna imply that they're kind of, sorta, but not really. But yeah, but in another universe where you can literally see them, they have a kid. By the way, the ultimate rage baiter.
Yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho.
I feel like
I
a
don't
Kaza
think
might be one of the better options.
Does
Yeah,
Kurama
I had
count?
like.
He's kind of like
several-
a full body transformation.
Well, it's a transformation, not a tattoo, brother.
Right, listen, I'm searching too in my brain. Ugh.
Like if that's the case, Hiei with his eyes count as well. Eyes count as tattoos, right? Like in the start of the of the anime when he had eyes all over his body.
In that case, fucking Yusuke would count too with his fucking.
Yeah, Yosuke, yeah, he has like the marks, etc. It's kind of surprising nobody on Bleach has like full body tattoos.
That's what I
Well-
was thinking about and like trying to figure.
No one
Yeah,
wants to
'cause
do that shit, bro.
Bleach is it's so full of even even Kubo, whose like sole purpose in life was writing a manga just so he could draw cool shit, couldn't be bothered to draw a character that has tattoos all over their body. Like, dude drew Renji and was like, I call it quits.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of there's an interview with the Trigun author, and they asked him what his favorite character was, and he said, "Who's the guy with the gun?"
Wolfwood.
He said
Easy to
Wolfwood.
draw.
Yeah, because he's all black, big things, easy to draw, and he's like Vash. I like Vash, but all the belts.
So real.
And you could tell like regret.
So tired.
Isn't this the reason Toriyama made like the Super Saiyan have blonde hair? So he didn't have to
Oh yeah,
ink it
so
in.
you didn't have to color it in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have these weird alien people, Oda, Oda is Oda. That's a given. And then you have Horikoshi who's like, yeah, I like drawing hands. You're like, you're fucking insane. It's like, yeah, no, I just really like drawing. I like making it like whole panels of hand.
Okay, actually, not tattoos, but Maki has like scars all over her body.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Shoto Makinohara.
I mean, not for nothing. I guess actually, Eku near the end with all his like lightning shit was kind of over his body too. Actually,
Yeah.
his lightning that was also like veins. That was also like
Many things.
some of the art for My Hero near the last 100 chapters. I was just like, is he taking a month to do all these? And I was like, no, it's on a week with a lot of
Yeah.
assistance.
The
They
art
could have
on
never did it justice.
I have many criticisms with the plot of My Hero Academia, but the art never missed a beat.
My only real criticism with My Hero story is that it probably doesn't linger on the things that I want to linger on, and it takes place in a year, which sounds insane.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think my most of my criticisms come from a very personal
It's what it had to do with the writing, like because like with Jujutsu Kaisen, I can just be like, no, the writing's bad.
It's so bad from start to finish.
I don't need to like make up reasons of like why I don't like it, like my personal taste. I'm like, no, there's just bad writing. Characters don't finish arcs, and like you don't. And he shelves characters for God knows how long, only to bring them back for like a chapter, or get rid of characters that could be used longer for.
Yeah, like at the start, you don't think it's bad writing. You just think that the characters, like the arcs, haven't happened yet.
Like, oh, we're setting up. We're in the setup. Still.
Yeah,
we're still in the setup.
we're in the setup stage. Like this is normal. This is not bad writing. I'm not an anxious man. I don't need to have everything. You know, I'm used to it. The slow burn. But then things start progressing and people start dying, and you're like, oh, he's just not going to. He's just not.
On the flip side of My Hero, it's just like, how many arcs could I point out that were concluded and I was very satisfied with? The whole Todoroki's family, I was like, yeah, he landed that. Ochako and Toga, very, very, very heartfelt. Probably could have been a little bit better, but it's still a lot better than most. Bakugo, Bakugo is self-explanatory.
I just, I think it's a very like personal grip that I have with My Hero Academia, because in a very early interview, Horikoshi said that his intent was for the story to span like all 3 years of high school. And deal with
everyone can be Oda, man. Yeah. He's gonna die.
No. And deal with like, you know, heavier themes, like, you know, of adolescence. And I was like, dude, that sounds so fucking awesome. Like with this setup and this setting, like this cast, like all of the word building and stuff. Like it sounds very exciting to explore, like, you know, maybe sex and drugs and then word with quirks and stuff. You know, not in the boys kind of way, but you know, in a sort of like gentler way, you know, but still real. And I was very excited about that. And I don't think he needed to make the manga too much longer about that. He could just like have had more small time skips, you know, like You don't need to show like the entire 3 years of high school like romantic comedies do. You can just. I mean, he literally did like time skip like for 2 months or 3 months, like toward the end of a manga. He could just done that.
Yeah. I think what's funny is when you actually get to some of those parts, it's literally at the end with like, you know, at least 3 of the characters have to deal with the fact that they killed a person, essentially.
Yeah.
And you get a little taste of it, and it's like, but then they, they obviously time skip and they're adults and they have to process it that way. And you don't really get to see it that way, which is unfortunate. But like in terms of like the things that he set with the characters, they paid off in the end. And that's really how I grade things is it's like things you told me that would happen, did they happen? It's like yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the ending was satisfying enough, I think. Like it was, it was a shonen ending, and I guess in today's sort of like manga climate, having like just a decent ending is already so fucking good. It's so much better than most series get.
My
the
Hero
ending
has the best shonen ending, and people can't commit. Well, I had to let me think about it. Let me think about it a little. Do you count Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes.
Okay, it has the second best shonen ending.
I think Naruto had a better ending.
I think Naruto had a better ending, and then they brought Kaguya in, and then it gave me an aneurysm. If we ignore that arc,
you the
if we truly, if we
No,
ignore
I mean
if I
the
wipe
ending.
it from my brain.
I mean the ending. I mean solely like where we landed on the last like chapter.
I count all of it because it's a part. But if I ignore that Kaguya happened, and I close my eyes, I'm like,
It was such a fever dream. Like I don't know what. Like what the fuck did Kishimoto. Like what was it thinking? What was he thinking?
Yeah, that gave me legit like palpitation. I was just like, what?
It was a very weird because you can tell he was kind of eyeing a sequel already, and he wanted to have some way of like laying the seeds for that. Either that, or he just really felt like just turning the whole thing into aliens, which is what Boruto did eventually.
Why does it feel like everyone's trying to get on Dandadan's wave with aliens?
It's not even Dandadan, like, because Naruto did that, and then, Kaguya appeared, and she was just like a weird lady, but then Boruto goes and, like, explicitly, oh, they are aliens. Her and the family and, Chakra, that's just alien magic. Like, and that was before Dandadan. And then, like, Dandadan is a thing now, and Dandadan is originally about aliens, and it does that in a very cool way, so it doesn't feel bad. But then Jujutsu Kaisen is doing the same fucking thing.
That's kind of what I meant, actually.
Cursed energy, aliens. Like, fuck off, bro.
That's why Cursed Spirit was like, no, fuck you. You can't just take Dandadan's wave like that.
Yeah, it was already bad enough, I think, when Gege went like, oh, only Japanese people produce like cursed energy. What the fuck do you mean? Why?
Motherfuckers are sad.
Yeah, like what do you mean?
If anything,
when a Japanese person gets sad, do you mean that they are more sad than any other person in the world? Like if I get sad, I just can't reach the levels of magical depression that a Japanese can reach. What the fuck?
Magical depression.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that My Hero has the second best shonen ending. Like I think it gets that title. Maybe with Naruto, like if we can go back and forth with that. But
I can fight with that.
I have them tied because because I don't care about half the cast of Naruto besides Naruto, Sasuke, and
yeah. Actually, if we consider like the whole path that leads to the landing, then I do agree it's better than Naruto because that Kaguya thing was fucking. But also, Shaman King.
I do not remember the end of that at all.
The best, like, I think Shaman King had like the best thing, which is that for a long time, it's like, no, Hao is fucking undefeatable. Like, he has his spiritual energy is like 10 times higher than the second highest spiritual energy in the series, and then it keeps getting bigger, etc. He becomes like the fucking Shaman King, and they don't find a way to like magically defeat him. They just do things in a way that Hal agrees like to be chill about things. Yo doesn't become the Shaman King. He just goes back to Japan with his hot wife, and they have a child. Like that's it. You know, it's. I think it's
Also,
the
Shaman King gets the best relationship too. Actually,
yeah. Like I think Shaman King
unless
gets.
Dandadan lands this, Dandadan might just snatch that from them. But
Yeah, Donovan is heading in a very. I'm going to be the best. Like, I'm going to have the best shonen trajectory of of recent years. It has a path ahead of itself. But I think Shaman King, like the good thing is that it just let go of the concept of the protagonist actually becoming the guy. You know, it's like if Naruto found something more important than becoming Hokage along the way and just gave up on being Hokage, and that's cool, you know, because in the story it works. Yu Yu
can I
Hakusho
say
did
something?
something similar too, but it just didn't stick the landing that well.
It's like
Can I say
sometimes
something?
life's about adjusting your expectations, and that's it.
That's exactly why I can't stand Jujutsu Kaisen fans, because they can't get over the fact that UJ isn't like the strongest up until recently, and who cares arc after the fact. But they do this. They just have to like put him on the level of like, no, he is potential of Gojo. I'm just like, guys, it's okay if he's not the strong. He's important in many other ways to this
Yeah,
to this story.
just really fucking strong at the end though.
At the very Module, he's obviously the strongest, but like
Yeah, in
in the
Module,
end,
yeah.
he's probably like what, in the top 3, 4 strongest people.
Yeah, I think by the very end, not counting Sukuna, obviously, it's like Gojo, and then Yuta, and then Maki, and then Yuji probably.
Yeah, but like, you just have to hold on to. I can't stand looking at Jujutsu Kaisen discourse. It gives me a headache.
Oh yeah, it was very tiresome back in the day. I just like to. Someone made like a website to keep track of stocks for the characters, and it was so funny to see the stocks going up or down depending on what was happening in the manga.
Don't.
Uh,
I rank who wins mangas at the end. Yuno won. He won Jujutsu Kaisen. Get to
Yuta?
die of old age. Get to have a family. Get married. Married the person he wanted to.
I
He
think
had the best happiness.
I was sort of hoping, not hoping, but like when he did the whole thing during like the final fight, I was hoping he would just like be permanently fucked in some way for doing that. But they just found a way to fix him.
It's one of those where like I thought about that, but also I was just like, well, I think at that point, like the things that happened was like, oh, there's a curse technique. He's supposed to be able to hop bodies back and forth. I think I cared less because of how the technique was technically supposed to work. Had it been
Yeah.
like, no, if Kenjaku uses this technique and he doesn't do X, Y, and Z, then it fails. And I probably feel a different type of way.
Yeah. You know what? These days I found out it's pretty funny like, that the reason Kenjaku has like those stitches on his forehead at all times is because it's a binding vow. Because like yeah, it's a binding vow, so to like increase the power of his technique that he always has to have like the stitch scars. Because otherwise he could just use like reverse curse technique to just heal the scar and to just not have it. But no, he has a binding vow that makes him heal the scar, which is just Gege going, shut the fuck up, just let my character have the cool thing.
I can't stand binding vows with a passion, man.
They are a very cool
No
concept,
wonder you hate my Zell.
but they got very trivialized. Like I like the binding vows in the term of them being like a long-term thing, but at the end when it's just like, aha, I needed 10% more power, so I made a binding vow that allows me to have 10% more power.
It's just so arbitrary. Like deals with yourself feel so. There needs to be like a Soul King, uh, like some sort of system involved, like some sort of karma. I don't know what you want to call it. Nen does it. We saw Goden fuck himself real bad.
Yeah. I like the concept of like, oh, if I limit my technique to targeting only like this specific kind of individual, then it becomes stronger. Like that's cool. But when it
Yeah.
starts getting just so freeform used just as get out of jail cards, like just gets trivial.
I think
Anyway,
it's because there's no way to gauge, like, well, why is that a fair trade?
yeah.
You know?
It's
This
because
is
by
like,
the end, he didn't even mention what the binding vow was, you know? Just, oh, I used the binding vow to, and then he never explained what the binding vow was and how it would affect anything. So it's like, eh.
yeah. Like, the Gojo one is like the one that made sense. It's like, okay. So, he did a thing.
Okay, fellas, I think we should just keep going with the game for now. We've waited for a very long time for Nico to come back, but
We did.
internet's just not working.
Great moment in the VOD.
Great moment. It's like 30 minutes of us talking about tattoos and anime while waiting for Nico to come back. But anyway,
I think some great discussions were had.
we did. We had like a whole character arc here. But going back to the game, Illuna has become supercharged with magical energy, which Kayla seems a little impressed with. The crystals are all put over the circle, and I would say that at this point you are basically ready for the activation of the circle itself. So we're still gonna have like basically like a final check from the casters to actually fully bring the circle into action
We're
and
enhancing
see if you
ability.
can
Yeah, I'm gonna hit myself.
and see if you can bring Kayla home as she asked. It's close to midnight at this point.
Holy
Moon
what?
high up
Where'd
in-
our day go?
I said time was passing. I have been saying time is passing. After the first couple checks, it was noon. After 2 checks, it was evening, and then you
We
went
got
to
more
the
important
graveyard.
shit to be doing than this. Jesus.
I mean, that's the point. Like, this is a very time-consuming task. Your checks were basically to determine how long it would take. Normally, this would take 3 full days, but thanks to everyone pulling their weight together, you managed to get this task done in less than a day, which is very impressive already. None of you are specialists in like planar transportation, especially not of an entity of this size. Anyway,
Bro, I should have just cast banishment on her.
Doesn't work anymore.
I know. Actually, technically, I think it still does. If it would just, it would send her to a plane of the DM's choosing, not to the plane she wants.
No,
I would never
think
collaborate.
That's how it is, but
Because she's not from here, so it still works for sending her back there, from what I read.
yeah, I remember. But yeah, I'm enhancing ability for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
same.
Just as a final, before we head over that, like the day has gone, like with everyone working on different aspects of this project. As for Orala, would you have? Is there any particular way you wouldn't have liked to spend this day or do something with Kayla, as presumably she might be leaving very soon?
Well, she'd be helping figure out the whole magic circle thing too. So, but before she would be sent, would try to pick out the like take the piece of the secret base / GG that Kayla had found before disappearing, and like making sure she has that as a parting gift as it were.
She gets it, like takes it from you and regards it for a moment, as the others are sort of putting the finishing touches on the circle, preparing themselves to cast the spell. Luna is beginning to charge the circle with the ether she has stored. Kayla looks at you and says, "Thank you. It's good for you that you found people to be around. I can't stay here, but I can still accompany you, in a way, for a little bit longer. If you want."
I think I found where I need to be right now, and I think you need to find where you need to be.
No, yeah, I'm going home,
Right,
but
but I, you know, I don't mean like home. I mean, like, you know.
no, I don't know what you mean.
Like, where you need to be.
Blinks a couple times. But that's where I'm going?
I'm bad at this. Gigi, you tell her.
Do you hand Gigi to her?
Oh, hand over, no. Just blankly leave silence for Gigi to fill.
Okay. She observes for a second. Goes, well, Gigi is very eloquent, but I think it's important that you say what you need to say for yourself as well.
Yeah, he can be long-winded sometimes. See you again someday. Just not right now.
Do you want to be able to see me again?
I mean, I just have a feeling I will, you know. Kinda knocks on her head. Not in the magically induced way though.
Yeah. If you want, I could give you a way to let me help you out sometimes. From afar. From my home.
It's kind of like, because she appears sort of like very conflicted because now knowing what Kayla is, this is familiar yet very scary territory. But finally, sort of relenting and agreeing, like holding out her pinky as sort of like a okay, but promise no stuff.
She raises an eyebrow. Stuff?
Like just flailing towards the stuff that's not there currently.
Right. I just... She kind of like extends her pinky. Doesn't like touch your pinky, just extends hers. And says, but I do want you to promise you're not gonna betray your friends. You don't have to have the same friends forever. But you're not gonna betray the friends that you have.
Never have, never will.
Do you take her pinky?
Pinky promise.
Okay. You pinky promise. As you pinky promise, you feel this you hear this like sizzling sound as like this very simple looking iron chain. It's a necklace, but it's really just like a chain. Like all of the bonds like materialize themselves around your neck. It's not like tight or anything. Like it's fairly loose, but it's also not loose enough that you can just like pass your head through, and it doesn't seem to have any sort of openings or anything like that. And Kayla says, well, if you call me, well, it's not gonna be me, but you can think it's me. It's not gonna be forever. But I can keep you company until you don't need me anymore. And she kind of like points to the chain. The day that thing vanishes, that means you're a real adult, Rala. Okay?
Nods.
Okay. Well, I should get going then. If your friends did their job properly.
I think Lilia would take a small moment to kind of go over to Kayla and say, you know, I meant what I said to you. I think in some other time, I would like to be friends too, but I mean, you know, malice.
Sorry, I didn't fully catch what you said.
That I meant what I said if we could have been friends in some other time, but I wish you the best of luck back home.
She looks at you. She's considerably shorter than you are, at least here. She just kind of exhales to herself and taps you on the on the hand, and as she does, you feel an anxiety being lifted from your spirits. And, suddenly, you're just back to feeling very much more relaxed than you were before. I don't like the whole group, but you're okay, I guess. Well, you remind me of someone. But, well, who knows? I'll be around. She gives a tap on the leg and saunters over to the circle.
The Midwest knee slap.
From the time that I spent studying the circle last night, could I tell how old it was?
It was about as old as the other circles, so it's been a few years.
Just a few years?
Seems decently
3,
old.
4, 7?
Not less than a decade.
Okay.
I think by the time a decade had passed, it would probably already be far more deteriorated. But it's kind of hard to put a pin on that kind of thing.
But it feels like it's in line with about when Rala may have become friends with Kayla.
Yeah, a bit before, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As Kayla kind of approaches the circle, Mizell will look at her and say, I hope this conveys our goodwill. Is there anything that you might be willing to share about what you know with regard to Marco and his plans in return?
Make a persuasion check.
Okie dokie.
Well, to be clear, it's not like I was a big important part of their plan or anything like that. I've just been around some of his girls for a bit. And I have some prior knowledge of how things work. But from what I can see, glances around the city. You got the feeling that she's trying to gauge how much to tell you. Demons aren't the only ones who can do things with the way people feel about them.
We know that Penelope and her eyes that Marco gifted her with had that effect on people.
Yeah, but Penelope doesn't get any stronger just because people like her, right?
You're saying that Marco's popularity gives him power? Through the books that he writes?
You can take that as you will, but you guys should probably figure out how he intends to do that. Because that's not just a thing that vampires can do. But if worse comes to worse, you can always just kill everyone in the city. That'll solve your problem.
Somehow, I don't think that's an option.
Oh, bummer. Well, if you do that though, just leave one person alive.
Just for you?
Not for me, but maybe one of my siblings.
Mhm.
Depends on who it is, really.
So I take it you're not the only demon of solitude out there?
Ironically, no, but we don't talk much. We all
I'd
have
be somewhat
different.
surprised. Go ahead.
We all have different forms.
Well, I think that you're one of the good ones. In spite of being a demon of solitude, you latch on to the ones who need companionship. And even though you gain from somewhat from their solitude, they also gain from having a friend.
I've said this before. I'm not a good person. Well, I'm not a person also. But think of that as you will. That's just what we do.
Never advise myself. Calling people one of the good ones. Not the compliment you think it is.
It's true enough. But
Well,
Think
if you meet one of my siblings, just good luck with them. They're not all like me.
Luna gives sort of a crooked smile. I'm sure we'll meet up.
Sooner than you think. Depends on Rala, though.
Not what I meant.
She raises an eyebrow. Intriguing.
Take care of
Well-
yourself, Kayla.
You too. She steps on and goes to like the center position of the circle. Let's see how your work fares.
Alright. All together now? What checks are we making?
You're all making Arcana checks. You, Noah, and Mizell. In your case, you're also contributing with the charge on your tattoo. Noah and Mizell, if they wish, could pump spell slots into it if they want to make extra sure it's going to work or it's going to have enough fuel.
Now we just need him to roll 25 and all this piece sort of pretty.
I'm gonna roll for Noah because, you know. Oh, I roll it too?
Wow.
yeah,
Can he
yeah.
enhance his
So that's an
ability?
18, right?
It's an
The
18.
the character
It's
is
an
cursed,
18.
guys. The
Oh wait,
character is cursed.
it is a 2.
That was valid for that one roll. It was not valid for every roll.
That means the
Uh.
next time you rolled it too. SMH my head.
In
Anyways.
fairness, I think we would have also enhanced Noah's ability.
I don't know if he can. We can enhance ourselves, but I don't know if he can enhance himself.
Doesn't enhance ability? Can't you enhance ability on more than one person?
You can.
I think if you
Fucking
cast
full
it, you
caster
can.
man.
Yeah, I would
Mr.
have
Fullcaster
cast
with
it
the
on
full caster
Noah
sauce.
as well. Yeah, higher levels target one additional creature. So
Yeah.
my Zell would have done it at 3rd level to give it also to
Okay.
Noah.
10. Bringing it to a 23.
Damn it.
Pretty good.
I really wanted that
So-
12.
The three of you position yourselves at like equidistant points of the circle, and place your hands over it. Very human transmutation-esque. Jesus. So that's a lot of arms. And you begin to know throughout your the construction of the circle, you also wrote an incantation in Infernal to go with the circle to activate it, because words spoken into the world are what activates magic most of the time. And so as you begin speaking these words in Infernal, the circle made of special inks, like, it begins burning. This ethereal, like, purple flame, the whole circle eventually catches fire like that. It would be very harmful to you if you were not the ones performing the magic, which gives you a measure of protection. The ether that Iluna had been storing is also sucked right into the circle and seems to be powering it. The crystals also begin to essentially, like, melt as the circle is beginning to drain the ether straight out of them. Kayla, right in the middle of everything, now in her, like, true form, which is just like her normal form, just with slightly different colored eyes and very stubby horns, kind of like whistles and goes, "Oh, I think this might actually work." And there's something else I was thinking about. Oh, Kayla turns to all of you and goes like, "And that guard lady friend of yours, she's pretty interesting. But I'll leave it at that." As she says that, the circle fully activates, and kind of like right in the middle of it, like around Kayla, there's this rift in the air, like this dark, the dark flame converging into it, and from the rift, even though you can't actually see into it, like, you can feel the infernal ether oozing out of it, like that you've just trudged upon very dangerous territory. And there's a very peculiar feeling as Kayla begins to be sort of like sucked into this rift. And she does say to all of you, "Even though I forced you to do this, thank you for helping me home. I'll make sure to observe you as I can. And Rala, just grow up well. Goodbye." And as Kayla gets sucked into this sort of like trembling rift in the air, like the very like, you feel, all of you feel this sense of cold emptiness washing over your bodies from that tiny contact with the 6th layer of hell. And whatever feeling any of you would possess of desiring something that belongs to someone else, you will feel it getting slightly stronger just for a minute. But then it passes, and even though the air gets this sort of like imploding feeling, the circle, after being ignited, just burns completely and leaves just this blackened mark on the floor. And Kayla is gone. Back to her home, whatever shape it may take. And Rala, there is now that chain around your neck. And I will tell you what it does right now. You have received from Kayla the Pact of the Chain invocation.
Ooh.
Nice.
You
I was
can
gonna have a
use
little
it.
hellish familiar running around.
You can use it to summon a familiar, but you can only choose the imp option.
Okie dokie.
I think more thematically, it means that Rolla will always have a friend.
Yes. She will always have a friend for as long as she's scared of not having one. She's too scared of not having one. When she becomes sufficiently capable of dealing with her own solitude, the chain is going to vanish. But anyway, the circle is gone. Kayla gone with her. She still technically has 2 favors she can call upon from Iluna, but who knows when she'll decide to call upon that. It is nighttime on a Tuesday. The first of 2
Going
nights
up
you have.
on a Tuesday.
The first of 2 nights you have before your deadline. And having dealt with Kayla, you are finally free to continue pursuing your next target on the hunt for Marco Windranen, which seems to be quickly coming to a close. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight, fellas. Thank you very much for your presence.
Yeet.
And we'll pick this story back up next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Put here late night. Yeah, and that's it for today.
Yeet.
All things considered.